First, I'd like to begin on a little background of what these zoos provide before I make the claims on why closing these zoos won't even work in the first place when we'll actually endanger the animals. The zoos provide many breeding programs to these endangered species in order, to keep them alive, even if they aren't, it's just so they could keep the ecosystem running. Because there are some animals, not like the panda where it isn't as, essential to the ecosystem. There are animals that help keep this ecosystem running, and if the zoos tend to disappear and there's no animals being taken care of, you lose other animals in return, because these animals are the essential, they provide importance to the ecosystem, and without it, other animals will die off. Like, for example, if the bees were to die off, it causes a whole chain reaction. It'll start with herbivores dying off and then predators. The same will happen to these animals if the endangered species are not, kept in check. According to ASA, which is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, SCPs and related programs have helped bring black-footed ferrets, California condors, red wolves, and several other endangered species back on the brink of extinction over the last 3 decades. And these zoos have also used the SCPs as research tools have better understand wildlife biology and population dynamics, and to raise awareness and funds to support field projects and habitat protection for specific species. Once these people start to feel like, oh, they're actually helping the planet, it'll actually motivate them more, and this will actually keep bad attendance over at zoos from mistreating animals, because there'll be more people coming who actually love animals, who actually want to see them live, who want to see them reproduce and extend their lives on the planet. And the goal of the conservation is to reintroduce these animals back into the wild. According to About Education, the goal of reintroduction programs is to release animals that have been raised or to rehabilitate in zoos back to their natural habitats. ASA describes these programs as powerful tools used for stabilizing or establishing or increasing pseudo animal populations that suffered significant declines. But in order to keep these programs running, the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums states that this requires that they be demographically stable, genetically healthy, well-maintained, and capable of self-sustaining reproduction, distributed among self-institutions to lessen the risk of catastrophic loss, and sufficient in size to maintain high levels of genetic diversity. So they won't just send any certain animal that's not even in a current state just back into the wild. So they'll try to focus into producing more research into cure diseases, so they be able to be reintroduced again. Because without this motive of reintroducing them again, then these zoo attendants or researchers won't even try and keeping them healthy at all. And that's where problems arise, where they get zoochosis and they generate diseases that were not present in the wild. But for example, if you close zoos, all this will be lost, all this conservation, and not all animals, even in the current state right now, as zoos are running, are not able to be reintroduced into the wild. According to the dodo, research outlet for animals, this may not be possible for Panamanian golden frog, whose forests have been infected with deadly chytrid fungus, which has blighted amphibians globally. It may never be possible to safely return these species to wild, and therefore will only be reared in zoos. So if you take these zoos away, where would this the Panamanian golden frog end up? Once it gets reintroduced back into the wild, because the zoos are closed, they'll just completely become extinct due to the fungus. And also, according to Born Free Foundation, a recent review of 45 carnivore reintroductions found wild-caught individuals were more likely to survive than those born in captivity. And also, with these during these conservation programs, zoos also give medical care and feed these animals, and no longer have to worry about stressing about finding water, and be able to keep their babies alive by hunting for food. And if zoos being taken away will actually set them back to that same stresses, and not all the animals, once they've already been in captivity in the first place, are not able to adapt to the new environment where they have to look for this food because all the whole lifetime or taken care of and fed and giving their medical needs, and not all the animals will able to survive the new diseases that are out there. Again, from Born Free Foundation, animals not exposed for generations to diseases found in the wild may have reduced resistance to them. And sometimes, since they become resistant to ones in zoos most of the time, but back in the wild, it's a whole, the whole new group of diseases that that they have not been used to. Like when the Spanish came over, to the Americas, the Native Americans weren't used to these new kind of diseases, like the Spanish flu, and they quickly began adopting the same thing to these animals that they reintroduced back into their new environments. From real clear science, in fact, many animals, especially parrots, can live much longer in captivity because they are free from predation, given medical treatment better than many Americans receive, and well nourished. So as you can see that these animals are really well taken care of by these institutions, in order not only just to keep them nice looking for the visitors, but also to give them prolonged life. Because once animals start dying off, sooner or later we humans are gonna have to will have to become endangered also without all these animals thriving in the environment. And also there's also research that's also done in these institutions that, like for example, the Great Ape Heart Project, where a cardiovascular disease and a leading cause of mortality among great apes living in zoological settings. The Great Ape Heart Project is a multi-institutional collaborative that seeks to understand, diagnose, and treat cardiac disease across all 4 non-human great ape taxa. So even diseases are either present in the zoo or even outside are being researched and treated, so animals no longer have to keep suffering no longer have to keep suffering and dealing with these painful diseases, and that way it also prolongs their life even while they're in captivity. Because if they're out in the wild, there's not going to be research isn't as easily done because they're out. They're freely roaming everywhere they want. So it's not easy even to catch a photograph of a certain animal because they're always moving around the plains. Okay, thank you.